All right. Oh, the poor thing. That's a funny one to listen to now and then. Welcome everybody to Curious Times. It's Wednesday, November. Hey, who's that? Mary Margaret. November the 14th. You now have 1 month of shopping for Chris's birthday. Oh, what? You didn't hear? What? Oh, jeez.
By the way, 630 is Amy. I have a new phone and I don't know how to use it. So I was trying to call,
how does
but I
that
was
happen?
confused.
I swear to God, you guys are gaslighting me. Like you guys both go. You guys use some kind of what's that kind of program that you can change your caller ID?
Yeah.
I'm like, I said that to Dan the other day. I'm like, what? Like this. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Just when I think I have it sorted out, I apparently don't. And so anyway.
Sorry about the show the other night. I was on a sleeping bender and I woke up like at 7 o'clock because I knew it was time for the show, and I was like, that was like the only thing I was going to do all weekend. And somehow or other, like 10 minutes before the show, I fell asleep and woke up. It was like midnight.
That's okay. I knew that you knew about the show. And
yeah.
So
but the thing was that I had planned on, I mean, it was like the only thing I planned all weekend. But
I hear you. Hey, it happens to the best of us. And since I screwed up the time before, and maybe even the time before that, I was like, oh, I cannot be upset in any way about this myself. You know what I mean? So
I had a lot to share. I was going to share all my Uber stories, but for another day.
Yes, that'll be good. I like that one thing that you had on your Facebook. What was it? Like a picture of was the blind guy? Was it Roy Uberson or something? Roy Uberson?
Oh, yeah, Roy Uberson. Right, Roy Uberson.
That's very funny. Like, what happens if Roy Orbison becomes a Uber driver? Well, besides the fact that everybody dies.
That's what I
and
feel like is Roy Orbison. Sometimes I really can't see at night, but I need the money, so I just, say a prayer and try to keep it between the lines.
So I just discovered that I wasn't sharing my system sound, and that's why nobody heard the introduction. So I was laughing. For everybody's probably calling like the psychiatric hotline to report Chris from Curious Times from being a little bit nuts or something like that. Because there I was, like just laughing away, and nobody knew what I was laughing at because none of you guys all could hear that, I guess. So there. I guess that went wrong already. So anyway, okay, Amy, thank you. Amy is 630. I'm gonna tattoo that on my.
I'm gonna go back to listening.
Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get that knocked through my head. Okay. We welcome everybody. We'll try this again. It is November the 14th, Wednesday. Kathleen Moore is our guest today. Tomorrow we are off. Friday we have Selva. Kimber is here Saturday. Nick Fox is here Sunday. Monday, Diana Monroe. Tuesday, Lisa Nolan Shalusky. And then we're off for a couple of days, and then Selva. When is yours, guys? You're probably the 20th. Is I correct in saying the 24th would be your guys' Thanksgiving? Over there, you guys? Nod your head, Mary Margaret. Yes, you can nod your head. I can see you, remember? It's a blur, but yes. I think that means yes. Does that mean yes? It's somebody type yes. Even if I'm wrong, just type yes. Thank you. Very good, okay. So that this 24th is going to be the 24th is going to be the Thanksgiving. We're off that day anyway, so everybody can go right to sleep after you eat all that turkey. Okay, so that's done. Kathleen is here. She's waiting. She's been waiting on us forever. All day long, she's excitedly waited for tonight's show. I don't think so, but we're just going to say that anyway. Okay, so for anyone that was living under a rock, I don't know why I can't make that move. Okay, and is unaware of our good friend Kathleen Moore. I will tell you a little bit about her, but I would encourage you to just go to her website and find out everything you want to know, and then some, all by yourself. And you can do that by going to www.KathleenMoorePsychicMedium.com. You can find her on Facebook, Kathleen Moore Psychic Medium. Just Google Kathleen Moore, and it's Moore, Moore. Okay, psychic. Kathleen Moore Psychic on Facebook. Yeah, but she is a psychic medium. She's been doing this for decades. Decades upon decades upon decades. No, that's a little bit of hyperbole. She has been doing this for decades. And we'll leave it to you, the rest of y'all to figure that out. She has clients from around the world. She does coaching. She does gallery readings, house clearings, motivational speaking events. She's an awesome rock chick. She gets the best stones and crystals. It's ridiculous. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were from Ohio, or they went to Ohio. Visited Leah Dawn, and she saw some amazing stuff there. I'm all like, what is it about Ohio? They got like all this. Is there something special about Ohio that they got all the best rocks over there? Anyway, we'll ask Kathleen, and maybe that's why she moved. Change your real story, Kathleen, about why you moved to the United States, and let's pretend that you moved there because Ohio is like the world's best place to live for if you like stones and crystals. And that'll make a good sounding story. Anyway, you can find out about all the private services that Kathleen offers. Again, once I said again, go to her website, or she does use a telephone, ladies and gentlemen, and you can reach her by telephone during regular office hours at 330-554-8202. And you can also send her an email at KathleenMooreReading@gmail.com. So let's just go get her and see how things are going for Kathleen. It's been a while. Now I'm frozen. Kathleen, push 1 on your phone, please, and say hello. Hello. Oh, let's do it again. Do it again. Don't make me refresh my page. Okay, there we go. I'm going to refresh my page now because everything's frozen on my show page. How are you? What's been going on?
Oh, it's been a little bit of a rough go the last couple of weeks.
Jesus.
So I had a reaction a couple of weeks ago when I couldn't make the show. I had a migraine, and the migraine lasted for a few days, and then it was a reaction to my anti-seizure meds.
Oh,
so
geez.
I've been having some trouble with that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. Is there something about Ohio that makes you guys be the best place to go find rocks and stones and crystals?
Well, it depends on what part of Ohio she's talking about. There's a few people here. There's a couple that I deal with that are really well known. There's a lot of people are doing these live feeds from a couple of the warehouses that are here. And I know the owners of the warehouses and stuff. That's become very popular with, the Facebook groups and the rock selling groups and stuff like that. So a lot of people are getting some quality stuff out of Ohio, but I don't think that's why anybody would move here. I don't know why anybody would move here voluntarily, but it's just me. I mean, main industry here is medical right now, so but there's a lot of industry coming back to Ohio, so.
I was just saying, I don't know if you did, Nancy, then your phone number, there's some phone numbers in the queue. I had put into the chat room, Mary Margaret should start saying all the stuff Kathleen is saying, because she's on the video camera, and then it'll look like she's you. Like anybody watching the YouTube video will be thinking like that Kathleen is you, but there's something off with our timing, you know what I mean? That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's winter. How is it there?
It's cold. We're expecting some snow here in the next couple of days. More ice than snow.
Yeah.
I don't. Mary Margaret said something about Aaliyah mentioning a mine. I know there's a salt mine here underneath Lake Erie. It's pretty
she
well
went.
known.
There was a lot because we Googled. I Googled because she couldn't remember the cavern. It was she called it a cavern. And
okay. Yeah.
and so then I Googled it. Then there was like about 10 in Ohio.
Yeah.
And I read
down
off
near
the whole,
Cincinnati. Yeah.
read the whole freaking list off, some crazy places, but she still couldn't really remember. I don't think she remembers where she was. Maybe
maybe she was traveling through haunted Ohio. There's a lot of haunted places and stuff like that. The caverns are down near Cincinnati, and then there's the Cantwell Cliffs that are up here near Hocking Hills, in southern Ohio. There's some of those. They're pretty well known.
No, Mary Margaret, different Nancy. And Nancy, Mary Margaret's like, hello, Cookie Head. Cookie Head, is that you? I knew right away what she was talking about because Nancy, the other Nancy, uses a cookie as her Skype avatar picture thingy instead of a picture of herself. So anyway, the big cookie, the chocolate chip cookie person. Yeah, it sounded like there was quite a lot of places to go explore over there. Caves and crystal caves and that kind of thing. It looks like there was a lot of stuff to go see.
Yeah, there's salt caves and stuff. There's not very many well-known crystal caves around here. Most of the caves are gypsum or salt.
Yeah, right. Gypsum, yeah.
Yeah, the type of.
Yeah, you sent me a crap load of that gypsum stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more crumbly, right, than crystals, yeah?
Yeah, it can get. I mean, you can get some pretty big pieces of it and everything, but there's a bunch of places that people call caves or salt, or crystal caves, and it's actually they're man-made.
Right.
There's some that are stalactites and, natural caves with the gypsum and stuff like that. But as far as I know, I might be wrong about that, though.
I just came across the little crystal penis that you sent me.
They're still my bestseller.
Wow, that's funny. That's funny. Well, and people could get those for little stocking stuffers, guys, for people. Anyway, and we'll get you a.
Yeah, I'm almost sold out of those for Christmas already.
Wow.
People are doing their shopping early, and then I found some really unique ones. Like I haven't been out in the last couple of weeks, like I said, but I've made a couple excursions. And I found some really unique crystals that I have that I'm really excited about, so I'll be putting pictures of those online.
Good job. So, I guess you got Thanksgiving coming this month. Are you guys going to be staying home, or what are you doing?
We'll probably go to my in-laws, but yeah, we're not going to be doing anything big.
Yeah, I hear you. I prefer to stay.
When
the rest of the world is out there driving, I prefer to be home.
Yeah, I don't feel that good, so right now I don't think I don't even know if I'm gonna go anywhere. So until they get this straightened out, medication straightened out.
Yeah, for sure. No kidding. How's the puppy doing?
Puppy weighs around 65 pounds.
That's crazy.
Just turned 5 months. She's awesome. I walk her every day, and she's doing really well in her training. She gets things right on point, so the trainer's really excited about that. Like she learns very, very quickly. We only have to show her once or twice, and she's on it.
Awesome.
So
that's good.
she's been a joy. I'm so glad I got her when I did. Cause
it's fun training dogs like that. I had a border collie that was just so smart, and it was like just so easy to train that dog. What an awesome dog that was. And like if I still remember she was so small, and she was like on the corner of what do you call, baseboard? You know what I mean, on the little corner, and she was kind of chewing there, and I like said no. Never again did she ever once. I didn't hit her or nothing. You know what I mean? And she was just like brilliant, well-behaved dog. I had her too, where she was, I let her out in the backyard, because after a few years she kind of ruined the lawn in the backyard. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the female's urine is a lot more acidic or whatever. It tends to kill lawns quicker. And so it was becoming, as there were becoming dirt. Somehow, who's clunking around?
My puppy. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's okay. At the same time, Mary Margaret was fumbling with headphones, and so I wondered if by accident she became unmuted, but she hadn't. But anyway, so it'd be a little bit like spots in the backyard where it would be if it was raining, it would be she'd get dirty feet, eh? And so it got to where she just knew when she came in from going outside, she had to like stay on the carpet there at the back door until her feet dried, or until I could come and wipe her feet, eh? Just a beautiful, such a pleasure to have a dog that, that is just so cooperative, really.
Yeah, it really is. It makes a big difference.
Oh, huge. Yeah, so much less effort. And then I think it also helps you bond easier, you know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of correcting going on, you know?
Yeah.
And,
her and I are spending a lot of time together, too, so, and she's really brought life into the older one. The older one's been very, much more active, much more puppy-like. So,
yeah, actually, I heard that anyway. It's like sometimes it's a good idea to almost stagger it like that. You know what I mean? For the benefit of the older one, kind of kick them back to life, and it can be tiresome for them too when a little baby puppy comes along. That's not so little either, too, right?
Yeah. No, and it's funny because the older one, at first there was a little bit, the alpha problems, that you have with dogs, but now they lock together, and the older one seeks her out, and at first I'm like, I'm going to let the older one out so she doesn't jump on her when she's trying to go to the bathroom and all of that stuff, but the older one sits there and waits at the door like, what the hell are you doing? Let her out. So then they run the yard together. And
oh, right on. That's awesome.
So that makes me feel good. Cool. The older one, she's really old. She's old for a Great Dane, so.
Yeah. Borrowed time almost.
Yeah, she's pretty close. She definitely is pretty close, but she seems to be a little bit more into life.
Well, you know what, and that's just it, right? And the same can go for people. Right? Bring a little bit of joy or happiness or something for them to look forward to, and all of a sudden you take somebody that, and if you can will yourself to death, right?
Yeah.
Like when in certain circumstances, I think you can.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. So it's good. It's really good for. Well, that's nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, no, I'm having a great time with her.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are we gonna? What do you wanna? What's our topic? What is? So Mary Margaret's on the camera. Do you have something to say to us, Mary Margaret? She's gonna unmute herself. She's looking. Where can I unmute myself?
She's trying to figure out how to unmute
there she is. Okay, now
my bar dropped down and covered it up.
There you are.
I just thought I'd come on and show you how a sick old lady looks.
No, don't be silly. It's good that you're there though, because then I'm not there, and then there's not an empty spot there. So you'll be the face on the YouTube video for the whole show. So look pretty.
Oh, nice.
And look engaged and like go like make it like you're listening and stuff, and make it look like you're listening and she's making all this is
my happy face.
yeah,
this
there you
is
go.
My sad face.
Oh yeah. That's the little grandchild. They're so funny, them kids. Okay, so we got Mary Margaret there. So what's our topic? Mary Margaret, spin the topic wheel. Spin the topic wheel.
Oh, I was just going to tell you that I got 3 new sets of cards, and they're really cool.
Well, 3 new sets of cards.
The Spirit Animal Oracle.
Spirit Animals, same deck I have probably. Looks like the same deck. Here, let's see. Is it called, wait. No, it's called.
That's Colette Baron Reed's new deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which one's that? What's it called?
Spirit
It's like Colette
Animal
Baron
Oracle.
Reed.
Yeah. Video only. I'm going to make the camera bigger so I can see what you're doing there. I'll fix it for everybody. So for now, everybody will see only the big Mary Margaret. Okay, Colette. Okay, with a deer on the cover. Gotcha. Spirit Animal Oracle. Okay, that's good.
Then I love Colette Baron Reed's cards.
Okay, Wisdom Oracle. Okay, yeah. She's going to become, yeah. Postcards from Spirit. Oh, postcards from Spirit. That sounds interesting. That does sound interesting. So go grab your. Okay, wait. I have an animal deck somewhere. Specifically an animal
Colette
deck.
Baron Reed's oracle decks are actually really. The artwork on them is just absolutely beautiful.
Where's my animal? I was gonna try and pull out my animal deck and see if we would pick the same animal at any point. Haha, you know what I mean? I just picked an owl. What do you got? Pick a card. I got an owl. See if you pick an owl. Oh, look, there's Nancy, the non-cookie head Nancy. No, we can't hear you. We only can see your lips move. The show's being taken over. Okay. So now, that's good. Like, no. So pull an animal card. I want to see if you get an owl. Oh, she got the bear. Okay. All right. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to... Why don't you give a reading to Kathleen?
Would that be awesome?
Which one you want? Postcards from Spirit?
Yeah. No, I'll take a postcards from Spirit for $200 for me later. But first to Kathleen.
Okay. Katie, who you want?
Animal. I'll take Spirit Animal.
Anything you want, you got it, baby. Okay, now I'm going to take the camera down a little bit, and we're going to give them the radio view back. Radio view, and we'll fix it for all participants that way. And
Thank you,
I go back to host you. Okay, so there you go. It's yours.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, what's it? A bear. You picked the bear again?
Yep. No, fox.
Wow, you what? Oh, that's a fox? Okay. Well, I don't know what you're holding up. You kept holding, I guess you were just you kept holding up a bear.
No, that was a fox.
The blue one? Wow, okay. I guess so. Okay. So you got the fox and
the fox is
You can speak. It's radio.
Okay, thanks. You think on your feet. Be alert now, for Fox Spirit has appeared, and you are meant to move swiftly. Let this clever spirit draw out your creativity as you adjust to rapidly changing circumstances with resilience, grace, and astuteness. Fox Spirit helps you to think on your feet, using your best judgment and wits to help you slip into a more advantageous situation. Now is not a time to hesitate, but a time for swift action of the mind, a time to think outside the box and notice the many ways in which you might make a move, aware of your surroundings and always clear on what you deserve and wish to co-create. Trust that your cleverness, guided by Fox Spirit, will serve you well. Protection message. Are you camouflaging yourself to avoid intimacy? Perhaps you are being too clever for your own good and playing games to protect yourself. Being honest with yourself or others can become isolating and create obstacles to true connection. Fox Spirit calls you to be attuned to what is happening within you and around you, so that your quick thinking and creativity can lead you to better relationships and situations. You're called to use your Fox Spirit beneficially rather than in ways that keep you from experiencing what you want. Or perhaps right now you are realizing that a situation is trickier than it appears on the surface, and you're afraid to make a move in case it turns out to be a mistake. Fox Spirit is here to remind you that when you are in alignment with the Great Spirit, the answers and solutions can come quickly, and you can trust them. Don't overthink a situation in order to avoid the challenge of facing a difficult truth. Fox Spirit, creative nature, will always be there to guide you and help you move quickly into better circumstances. That make any sense, please?
Yeah, actually, it's exactly where I'm at right now, especially the isolation part.
Oh.
But like I said, I really think this puppy came into my life right at the right time. Otherwise, I'd be completely isolated right now.
Oh.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense right now. Pretty dead on.
I'm isolated myself. Anybody else?
Good. Do you want to, now I wish, like, was it just me having trouble hearing her? Is she a little bit like, what's the word I'm looking, like it sounds muffled, or is it just me?
No, she sounds a little bit muffled and like a little bit of a delay.
And she's kind of muffled a little bit, so I don't know what the solution is, but we can at least hear you. And so now pull out the message from Postcards from Spirit and give it a nice shuffle.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we'll go, and then we'll get on with it, and we'll let Kathleen take a couple calls. You want to try one of those postcards from the spirits too, Kathleen?
Sure, I'll take one of those.
Okay, me first. Pick a good one. Pick a good one.
Okay. Dearest you, we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth it into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and a fierce and joyful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love
That
is when
causes
you no
what?
longer
That causes,
see
wait, whoa. So turn away from anything that causes,
it to wane. That means stop.
okay.
Love, love is when you no longer see yourself as others separate from, as others. Love is when you no longer see yourself as others separate from better or less than, etc. I don't know what that means. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. When you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. We just adore you over here. Aww. We love you.
But they could have picked that one for Charlie Manson too, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's good. That's good, thank you. Interesting. Okay. So quick grab one for Kathleen, and then we'll get to the phone calls for Kathleen.
What is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your words? Sure you can, as long as it's not used to manipulate others. The truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will get hope. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of stuff. This doesn't make sense. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear on your motives, especially with yourself. You will be so happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's multiple lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
It's all about the love.
I didn't mean to take any time. I just wanted to see myself.
No, that's good. No, that's good. I'm glad that was.
I'm all
that
about
was
the love. I like Colette's decks. I've got some of her older decks. The artwork on them are pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
I didn't realize she'd come out with some new decks. I'm guilty of not following her like I used to, but
I met her years ago and I really liked her.
yeah, I've had the pleasure of meeting her a couple of times in person in Toronto. But I don't, her decks are pretty, like I said, the artwork, and they're pretty dead on. A lot of people are really, really happy with them, but both those readings were really great, so I enjoyed it a lot.
awesome.
I didn't know she had a spirit animal deck out. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. Yes.
She used to run the circuit, I think, with Sylvia Brown, actually, through Hay House. I don't know if she's still with Hay House or not, but I know she used to run. I shouldn't say run the circuit. They used to do events together where, like they'd go to cities. They did city events and stuff together. Her and Sylvia Brown. So, but I think that was when, I'm not sure if she's still with Hay House or not. Same as,
right, because they always pair.
Yeah.
They always pair. Yeah. Okay, let's get with thank you. So let's get with want to take a couple calls?
Sure.
Let's see what we got here.
Thank you for the reading, Mary Margaret, and I hope you feel better.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so Amy's
So
there,
thank you.
and so we're going to go to 614. Hello, 614.
Hello.
Adriana.
Oh, is that Adrian?
Yes.
Oh my God. Is this become?
How are you guys?
Is this going to become the Kathleen Adriana every other Wednesday thing, or I'll just put Adriana's name on the title with the show.
Hi,
how's it
Kathleen.
going?
How are you? Good.
Good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to hear your voice. I haven't spoken to you in a while.
No, yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I was on the show, it was a month ago, Chris, I think, because the last time I was sick, so.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke was on the expo center.
Are you, Adriana, are you on the hands-free or whatever, speaker or whatever?
No, I'm on my cell phone.
Okay, it's really loud. Can you turn it down a bit?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, that'd be good. Like it's echoing off the freaking, where is it that all the
is
people
it better
go
now?
to? It's a little bit better. Okay, and speak with our inside voice. And you can talk with it. Pretend the kids are sleeping, okay? Okay. Go ahead, do you have a question?
Yes. I wanted to know if, do you think we will move within 3 months?
More like 4 months, like I see it at the end of February, going into March.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, it's November now, so, yeah, by the end of February going into March, looks more like March to me, but yes, I see a move.
Okay.
Are you buying a house?
No.
Okay.
It looks like a house, but it's just a townhome.
Okay. And is it bigger? Because I see like more space.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, it looks more like 4 to 5 months to me, but like I think in the 3-month period you'll know where you're moving and you'll have all your ducks in a row for the move and that kind of stuff. The reason why I thought it was a buy is because I see it takes you a couple months to get everything tied up to move to it. So I think you're going to move there, like the place you're moving and all of that before, a couple months before. So that's why I thought it was a buying thing. Usually with rent, you start looking for a place, you find it within a day or two, you know what I mean, and within a month you move. But this looks more like a couple months kind of thing. But it looks like March. I'd put, end of February. Go March or April. It looks more like around 4 months.
Okay.
Does that have to do with a transfer for him, or just because you want to move to a bigger place?
Just because we want to move to a bigger place and a different scenery. And our lease is up in December. So we were looking around.
Yeah. So it looks to me like you might go month to month until then, because it looks like spring, and it does look like a pretty good place. It looks pretty interesting. It looks bigger. It looks like there's enough space for all the kids. So I really feel like that has a lot to do with it too. So the change of environment. The change of environment will be huge and will be very beneficial for the children. So I see, is there 2 girls and a boy?
No. Well, yeah, his daughter, but she's not living with us. It's my daughter.
She comes and stays with you, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So, and then there's your daughter. So there's the 2 girls.
Mhm. And then
there's the boy as well. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's what I see. There's enough room for everybody, which will be a good environment for that too. It won't be so cramped.
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, we have our eye on a few. There's two that we're really interested in. We'll see.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I hope good luck with everything, and looks like a really nice place. So be patient with it. I think you'll go month to month. You'll find something closer to February, going into March, that's suited more towards your family needs and the environment you're looking for.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Thanks, Adriana. Take it easy. All right. There we go. Okay, let's go find Nancy. Hello, Nancy. What's going on?
Hello.
What's going on? How come everybody's so loud for me? Hang on. I'm going to turn my volume down.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. How are you? What's going on?
Oh, my. Chris, I'm just going to tell you, I just can't even. August 19th, I'm going to go right to it. Emma, my daughter, you know, the one I've talked about all these years.
Yeah.
Was hit by a tree.
No. Oh, no, in a storm?
Laying in the hammock in the backyard. Earlier that day, my husband broke at 12 o'clock, my husband broke his foot in two places. At 5:30, a tree fell on her and gave her a skull fracture.
Holy shit.
Dude, an orbital fracture. Blew out broke her jaw.
Oh, my God.
And I ran out there. I couldn't see her face because it was covered in blood. I lost it.
Yeah.
He couldn't get up because his foot was broke from 4 hours prior.
Yeah.
We got in the car. We went to the emergency room. I called 911. He told me to stop, so we went to the emergency room. And my life flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
She was a half an inch from losing her eye, and she, no brain damage, and we are so blessed. Blessed. He broke his foot that, morning earlier, which gave him the ability to be home with her and I, to help me take care of her, in his crippled state. But, yeah. So, I had to take care of both of them, But still, he was home. We have no family. My mother didn't show up, of course. Duh. And, oh, my God.
Wow.
And Red Cardinal, that has followed her around since before she was born. He just shows up in the backyard. She was playing on the hammock in our backyard, and the next day, that damn cardinal showed up, and he looked down, and I lost it. And I guess that's what my question is. Who in the hell is this red cardinal? Because I just saw my life flash before my eyes, and I'm still catching my breath. She almost died. She's still not right.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, listen, even with a serious concussion, you know what I mean? It can take you up to 3 years, to come as close as you can to back to where you were, you know what I mean?
And she had her eye fracture, a cheek fracture, a jaw. the kid had her mouth wired shut for 2 weeks. I mean, I snuck in the kitchen. I couldn't eat a chicken wing. You know, like, I couldn't eat anything in front of, I just can't even tell you, like, trying to eat in front of a person that can't eat, that you love more than your life. And I kept telling her, honey, I have to eat to keep you healthy, you know? Oh, God.
Yeah. Did you drink a lot of wine through it?
Beer. Oh, but still, you couldn't really, you know, like, lose yourself because, oh my God.
You had to be available, right? Yeah.
Ready.
So,
I bathed her. I had to feed her out of a syringe for 4 weeks.
How old is she?
Huh?
How old is she?
12. Well,
so she's still young enough that, you know, coming back from an injury like this is going to be a little bit, kids tend to bounce back a little bit better, and their bodies are so, you know, they heal so much faster. So that's, you know, that's something good. The cardinal looks like a tall male. Like, I really feel like there's somebody literally scooped her up and put this violet energy around her to protect her. So I think the cardinal, it looks like a tall, lean man, and he's very loving. He has, I feel like when he was living, he had like a ring of hair. You know, when people are balding on top, but they keep the ring of hair around, you know, from ear to ear or whatever. I see that, but then I see a full head of hair, so I feel like he...
Again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying. Tall male, I heard that.
Okay, so it's a tall, lean-looking male. He looks older. He's got white or gray hair that he's balding on top, so he just has like the C-ring of hair. And I feel he's the one that's protecting her. I don't know if that's a grandfather or an uncle or a great-grandfather. He seems to be very loving, though. And I see very, very blue eyes. So is that anybody that you know?
Yeah, that would be my grandfather.
Okay, so that's who...
Oh, wow.
Put protective energy around her and is around her all the time. We're protecting her. He's telling me, he says, you know, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. He's showing me that she'll be fine and that she'll recover from this pretty nicely. So, I'm with Chris. You know, I was about the same age when I had my traumatic head injury. I had, you know, 2 fractures and, you know, it takes years sometimes for a bruised brain in your skull and, you know, when you have your, you know, essentially your eyes and stuff like that and your jaw damage. What?
Did you have double vision?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. For years. I had vertigo as well for a long time.
Okay.
But,
that's what she's dealing with.
Yeah, and that's just, I think, the brain righting itself and eyes adjusting, you know, and when you think about it, you know, your body's used to both eyes working and seeing depth perception in a certain way. I found that was what was really helpful for me, you know, and this is personal experience. This isn't a psychic, this isn't psychic advice, but what I found was helpful for me is realizing that, you know, when it got really bad like that, I was trying to act like I still had both, you know, the vision being the way it was before the accident. You know, like I had one eye that was swollen shut for weeks on end, and the eye, you know.
Her too. She didn't open her eye for 4 weeks.
Yeah. So the body's adjusting. It's still, you know, your brain is like a map. It works the way it remembers working. It takes the path of least least resistance. So it's just like any muscle, it remembers. So it's remembering how she reached for things with two good eyes. Right now she only has one. So, and then her jaws and, you know, being in pain in your body trying to heal and stuff like that. So when she has moments of that double vision or that kind of stuff, she needs to focus on using, you know, the eye that needs strengthened, and that kind of stuff. But I'm sure PT's probably already told her that. This gentleman shows me he's around her all the time and loves. So I really feel
blue-eyed guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's surprising to me because he was the guy that always said when I told him I loved him, he'd say, "I love me too, and I think you're pretty." So I think it's funny. He's the one coming and protecting her.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't tell me who he is. That's, you know, he's got very blue eyes. He shows me his eyes, and he says you would know who he is by his very blue eyes.
That's him. Yeah. Crazy guy. I loved him. Well, I just feel blessed that she's still alive, and I always wondered who the cardinal was that came around, and oh my God, she could have been brain dead or lost her eye.
Yeah.
She
did. That's very lucky. Very lucky. So now, can you get back your any medical fees by house insurance?
We have
good insurance.
Her surgery was. They spent 6 hours going down through her eyelid to restructure her face. Her surgery cost $250,000, and we have to pay maybe $3,000.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but it was
it's how horrific. I'm so sorry you had to, you know, I mean, as a mother, I know that had to be the scariest thing that, you know.
I kind of am just now out of the cloud, and I'm trying to not have traumatic, you know, like every time she does anything, I'm just a freak. Well, I was like that when she was little, but now I'm just, oh my God. But, yeah, I don't even know, like, how to move on. Like, I'm just glad she didn't start her period while her mouth was shut. You know what I'm saying? I was like, thank you, God. Please, God, do not let this child start her period while her mouth is wired shut and she can't eat. I mean, she, you know, she's a young girl. I had to think about it, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, what would put me over the edge? That right there. Yeah, that would do it. I mean, not trying to be funny, because I was in hell, but that would have put me over the edge. Like, I had to bathe her and feed her with a syringe. And if she would have started her, no. But
Well, you know, I feel that there's a lot of divine energy around her, and I feel that there was a reason, you know, obviously there's always a reason why people survive that or go through that, but, you know, it's a miracle that she's here, and it's a miracle that she wasn't, you know, that there wasn't any brain damage or anything like that, and that she didn't lose her eye, and that, you know, her jaw's back in place and stuff. I think she'll grow quite healthy, and you know, this gentleman shows me that he's always, you know, protecting her. He has a protective energy around her. So I actually see him standing like above her when the tree came down. Was it the tree that was at her feet?
It was. No, she was on a hammock. And
so was the tree that fell, or the part of the tree that fell by her feet, like at that end, or was it at her head?
It was at her head.
Because he keeps showing me him, like right in front of her, you know, by her feet. Like I see him floating above her.
Probably pulled her feet, because if she would have been hit head on by it, she'd have been dead.
Yeah.
And I was 10 feet away. I mean, I could hear her playing in the back. And I knew everything that was happening. So he must have pulled her feet. But
it shows me at her feet. That's why I wondered where it was coming from. I didn't know if he was like protecting her from behind or what he was doing, but that's where I see him. I see him floating above her, and very strong energy.
Could have killed her.
Of course. Well, I mean, if nothing else, you know what I mean? Now there's possibly some meaning will come beyond, in the future about this, like, you know what I mean? What was the purpose of everything? We can't always know why, but there is. And but the thing to remember is that it's a moment in time at a time, even when she's a teenage girl, right? Is to remind everybody, when you're going to be raging at her later, you'll remember. You'll remember, and like maybe it's just a moment in time to somebody in your family or somebody in your circle maybe needed to have a reminder about life and how fragile it is and how to make the most of it while you have it, because anything like freak can happen. You know what I mean? Might not have been her. I always say, like, it's not like if something bad happens to me, it might not always be my lesson. You know what I mean? Might happen, for somebody, if somebody else is losing faith in whatever. I'm just saying is that there could, this is a reminder to anybody that knows her, like that miracles can happen, number one, right? And just how valuable and important life is and how unimportant the stupid little things are that cause problems between people. You know what I mean? So that's a good reminder of that.
Blessed somehow, some way. Because, So.
And that's a lot to take, too. I mean, I know everybody's been feeling really off the last few months. Everybody's been really fighting depression, even people that, normally the what I call the serial optimists, that always say, the sun shoots out their ass. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
The sunshiners, where the sun shines out their ass all the time. Even they were having trouble the last 2 months. So people that have been knocked down, with something like that, it's just been a really, really rough go of it lately. So I'm glad to hear she's out of the woods and that, she's in a recovery period. It does take a long time, though. I mean, I had the double vision for a long time, and I had a lot of...
What happened, what was I don't want to... Chris always gets on to me about taking too much time, but...
No, we
really,
have time. We have time.
All right. What was your injury?
I had, I was tobogganing down a mountain in British Columbia, and I hit a boulder at approximately 35 miles per hour.
Holy shit. And
so I hit the frontal lobe area or the forehead and had 176 stitches.
Damn.
From the forehead to the back, and then the back of the head I had a fracture, 2 little fractures.
Do you remember it?
I remember before it, and I remember right after it. I don't actually remember the accident itself. I remember thinking it split my chin as well, and my jaw stopped growing at that time because back then, you know, it was the 70s. Medical technology is really really gone on quite a bit, but it's like my bottom jaw stopped growing at that point, or the way it was set, it didn't grow right, but I remember holding my chin and thinking, oh, if I let go, my chin will fall off. I remember thinking that. But that turned out to be like after I was healed, when they were taking the bandages off and stuff. So it's like all of a blur, and it was when I was, pretty young. But my father
doesn't remember any of it either.
Yeah.
Before or after, but she remembers, like waking up. But it's just odd, like how you come to that point when you awake and you're like, okay, here I am. What's happening?
Part of mine was probably karma. The last thing I remember before mine was I remember thinking, well, I'll put my sister in the front because if we hit anything, she'll take the brunt of it.
Oh, no.
I couldn't laugh at that, but I remember thinking that, I was, the oldest, and I'm thinking, I never thought, you never think, like, something horrific. You think, if we, we hit something where we tumble or fall off the sled or whatever, it was back in the day when you had those big, thick plastic sleds,
Oh, yeah.
Boggins, that if they even got a split in them, they would fill up with snow a little bit, and then that would throw you off course, and that's what happened. There was, a big boulder that had snow drifted up against it, so, nobody assumed, knew it was a boulder until it was too late.
Oh, God. Yeah. But
we were going pretty fast. So, and when we got to the, half my face was so swollen that it wasn't recognizable on the one side.
Oh,
the other side, I could barely see out my eye and stuff like that. I can remember. I don't know what year did the Elephant Man come out? Remember that movie?
Yeah, I do. That was 8, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. So I don't know whatever year that it was. Right around the time that
1980.
Yeah, it was right around that time that the movie came out, or right before, because my sister would come in and make fun of me when I was laying in bed, and she'd be like, "I am not an animal," and I I couldn't tell my mom. My jaw was all jacked up, and I'd like,
did they wire it shut? Did
they? You know what? I don't remember. I'm assuming it was, but back then I don't know if they. I don't remember that part. I don't remember. I'm assuming it was because of the damage, but I'd have to ask my parents that. So, and every time I bring up anything about it, my parents are like, "That's the single worst nightmare of our life. We don't want to ever talk about it again." So I just don't bring it up.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah. I said something to my daughter the other day, and she was like, well, I had a broken face. And I was like, you win. Yeah, you win.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let her get away with it. Like, she can't use that.
Yeah.
But, God almighty, the fact, what I saw and how we even got her, to an emergency room. We walked in, doors just open. There was no filling out paperwork. There was no stop and ask questions. We walked in and doors open. They just kept us. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe, this is happening. I couldn't believe it was my life. I couldn't believe.
And consider and so consider too, all of the things that this incident has caused you to contemplate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, it seems to have had like, thank God and everything. And they're not to say there won't be, like, headaches in the future and other kinds of problems. But, you know, that's, like, pretty much a miracle to survive that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Kathleen worked in forestry, and I know it was probably more the wildlife side of it, but I'm sure that you have had your fair share, like these guys that are lumberers or whatever, you know what I mean? The lumber industry. Like, how many guys die because a tree falls on them and that?
No, a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, so it's like no joke. It's no
and they
joke
have
to have.
Yeah, and they have the protective gear on and, you know, the measures that can help. So, yeah, she's definitely a miracle. For sure. I'm sorry as a parent that you had to go through that, but like everything now is, as hard as it is on the recovery, everything from here on out is cake because she can survive that, man. She's a pretty amazing force. Imagine what she's going to do.
And she still has her sense of humor, and she's freaking amazing, and I try not to cry. You know, I hadn't had my real breakdown yet. I thought...
Well, you haven't had time.
Well,
I mean, I thought when I talked to Chris...
Wait a second. Like, first of all, stop right...
Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Don't try to deflect. I'm trying to speak. And so you have to stop by saying you already are, like, the reason I asked you, Carol, is because your microphone is active. Like, it's not unmuted, but it's active. So that's why I asked, because I saw your microphone activated. So then that tells me, oh, does that person want to get a reading? So anyway, it's up to you. It's up to you. I can take you right from there if you want a reading. Anyway, back to you, Miss Nancy. The problem I had with what you just said is you give up. You gotta, like, you don't have to expect yourself to have a breakdown. You know what I mean? But you're expecting to have yourself have a. Am I mute? Yeah, you're expecting yourself to have a breakdown. So you're setting the stage for it. And so you should
just need to release.
No, I get that. That's different though. That's the way you put it, right? Like, you release for sure, like, deal with those emotions, but you have it characterized as a breakdown. And it doesn't have to be that.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying is the mental image it gives to anybody when you use the words breakdown, you know what I mean? That's not good. But processing the emotions, of course. Like, it was a near-death experience for you, for the child. And so I wouldn't expect that, like, you know, we know that there's, like, the 7 stages of grief, right? And so, like, when a particularly traumatic event has happened to us, right, then there's stages to that as well. And part of that certainly is processing the emotions of it all, eh? Just don't call it a breakdown, because it's a healthy thing to process the emotions. Absolutely.
I don't mean, well, you're right. Don't call it a breakdown, but what do you call it when you've been so strong for so long and you need to refill your tank?
And you do, and that's what you say, is I haven't had time yet. I haven't had time yet.
I need to wash out my...
Sure, why not? Why not start right there? Why not start with a really great...
Wash out,
can you guys hear me?
My dam?
Can you guys hear me?
You.
Okay, so you're just intentionally talking over me?
Yes, I would do that.
Okay. So now I'm getting thrown off, but you know, you say, like, I haven't had time for myself to process what's happened. That's a far more positive, constructive way of saying it and describing what it is that you're going to be doing. You know what I mean? Because when you say I haven't had my breakdown yet, you're saying I'm going to have a breakdown anytime.
Well,
you know what?
Yeah.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
that's not what you have to do. The better thing to do is to have time for yourself. Now, start with something simple. Okay. So get a quiet evening. Right. Get a quiet evening. Get over into the bathroom all by yourself. Nobody, no interruptions, no nothing. Everybody leave me alone. And you get lots of salt. You show a nice salt bath. Okay? Now, at the same time, a good thing that you could do is to throw in, meanwhile, run your bath. Okay? Then, no, first don't run your bath because you'll have a flood if you do it in that order. So, go to the kitchen. Go to the kitchen. Okay? Get out your powdered ginger. Yes?
Yes.
Do you have fresh ginger?
Yes.
No. Oh, you do. So do you have a big, huge chunk of fresh ginger?
No.
Okay. So go back to the powder, right? Take a couple or few tablespoons of ginger powder, and then some water on the pot and boil it. Bring it to a boil, okay? And then turn it off and everything. Let that sit for a bit. Go run your bath, okay? Put lots of salt in, yeah? Come back over here, grab the pot, put your little finger in it to make sure it's not so hot, right? Go and add that to the bath water, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so the ginger is it's a perfect thing to use to bring out toxins and an emotional release.
Mhm.
And an emotional release.
Yes,
emotional. Okay, and the salt is, of course, that clearing, cleansing, clearing sort of thing. And so the two of those things together would be good. You'll sweat too, like in there, and let yourself sweat. You want to sweat.
I sweat when I wake up. I sweat.
But I mean but this is a good kind of sweating. You know what I mean? This is a good kind of sweating. And as long as you're still okay with it, and when your bath water cools, drain some of it and run some more hot water, and stay a little while longer. If you're still feeling the sweating part of the ginger part of it, then stay and keep doing that. And then go drink some nice fresh water after, rehydrate. And it's an excellent emotional. It's excellent for emotional healing to have the ginger added to the bath.
Ginger root or just ginger?
Doesn't matter. Like the ginger powder is made from ginger root, right? So that's why I said, like, if it would take a bigger chunk of fresh ginger to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? But if you had lots of fresh ginger, then you could take it out and mince it up nice and small, or you wouldn't even have to. You could put bigger chunks in, like slices, you know what I mean? And throw it in and boil it. But I would think you would have to boil it a lot longer, you know what I mean, to get unless you had it all really minced up small, it will probably take a little while longer for it to be steeped properly, right?
Yeah.
So if you're into a more, I might have about 45 minutes here to myself. Time to do this thing, right? Yeah. Then you don't want to be pissing around with chopping up, so you just go straight for the ginger powder, and then proceed as previously, as aforementioned in the earlier part of the broadcast. Okay.
All right. I know I have taken up way too much of your time for the allocated, Chris time for anybody.
No, it's okay. We have time. We only have Carol left to go that I know of, and so we're good.
Oh, my God, Chris.
So I'm glad.
I have wanted talked to you for so long because I've been like, oh my God, my life has been so screwed, and I just wanted to hear your voice, and like, I know you're not a psychic and whatever, but just hearing your voice has made me feel so much better because I know I've done the right thing. I don't know what the right thing is, but she's alive. She's not brain dead. She didn't lose her eye. And, oh my God, do you know how lucky I am?
Yeah, for
I don't
sure.
know what I did.
So you make the most of it, but don't let the kid walk all over you because of it, like you already are on to. You're already on to that. But so make the most of it, but everything in balance there, you know what I mean? Because
I know. I'm on to her.
I think that there would be some innocent, deliberate, intentional, unavoidable testing going on now, you see?
Oh yeah.
And so
she's doing it. I'm on to it. Believe me, I'm not stupid.
So find a joke. So you will continue to find a joking way to tell her, no. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. Yes, you did have that. Yes, but no, you can't do that. Nice try. Nice try. And but make it fun. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
nice
that's
try.
what I do. I'm like, yeah, you're right, and I do. And she is playing the kid card and trying to get away with everything possible. You know, I'll be like,
But I think she's reconnecting to have the rules shifted because of this for me, right? And if as nicely and as quickly as you can reestablish the original boundaries are in effect, you know, and none of that has changed, then everything will be good again. You know what I mean? Because kids, they will, you know what I mean? They're looking at that certain point in time. They're looking to be steered into within the parameters of the. But if they can keep getting away with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, then they will, by nature, continue to take.
Of course.
So if you just like set it all out right now, right? And go, okay, like, holy crap, that was close. Thank God everybody's okay. Now, the original rules of the house exist, and they will continue to exist. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, she can't use this as a excuse forever.
Now, now, if I was you, I'd keep a distant eye on any noticeable change in because a lot of the people that we talk to as guests and things like this, they're already slightly psychic nature becomes extremely enhanced upon having a near-death experience.
Yeah.
So keep a distant eye on whether or not she seems to be showing anything like that.
I will.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just trying to get the kid to pass a math test. You know?
No, I hear.
Like.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you know, like we're just at a whole nother level. But we have an eye appointment on Friday, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We don't have to have surgery.
Well, has she had the proper cognitive testing now, post-surgery and everything?
No. I mean,
so,
we're
like, what I'm getting at, like, what even a post-concussional syndrome, can have scrambled your brain. Right?
Yeah.
So there's a period of time that's called the post-concussional syndrome, and she had far more significant than a concussion, okay?
Yeah.
So at the very minimum, she would have post-concussion syndrome, you know? And this is a period of time of not having good balance necessarily, not having, for me, I didn't have, like, I had to start sticking my finger into a cup like a blind person would when I was filling up with something, so that I wouldn't overpour, because I was always overpouring. So my depth perception was off. and things like this. And so this can last for as long as 3 years, just that part of it, you know. And then for me, I had they call it a storage and retrieval problem. So on the more short-term memory stuff, storage and retrieval was a huge problem for me. It was like I had a temp secretary filing on Friday, and they don't know the first thing about filing, and nothing is where it belongs, and you don't know where to find the information you need. And so, the brain injury part of it is also very unique to each person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was describing on it.
I'm seeing impacts of that. And
yeah. So, the reason I was saying that is because you said there could be some scholastic deficiency, and this could, and so everybody should be aware. But don't let her onto that. It can be used as an excuse for everything.
No, I'm not.
But there is a real. So if she was going to be having a neuropsychological test, neuropsych testing, okay?
Yeah.
And she didn't know why. It was just a test that we had to get done. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
So that she's
like
not
on Friday when we go to the eye doctor. Yeah.
So if she was ever it's just another thing they have to check mark off the list, post-surgery, right? You know what I mean? And okay, Kathleen's back. And so this will tell you whether there's any kind of a cognitive. See, for me, I went from I have a very good, strong verbal IQ.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one is called the other aspect of the IQ test is the performance IQ.
Right.
And this is all your stuff like which shape blocks match each other and which, problem solving type, whatever. It was a lot of depth perception, a lot of map, directional, this and that and everything, right? And so I was coming back almost retarded on that.
Oh, wow.
And to have such a huge gap between the verbal IQ and the performance IQ is highly unusual,
Right.
And so this was the area that it affected me in, but it also meant that I could be, it happens to me all the time on the show. I know exactly what I'm trying to say. I know the words I need. I know this inside and out. But right now, those words got filed away someplace I cannot find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So, I could look at I could look at a.
What was your traumatic injury? What was your head injury? Was it
from a
head?
No, it was more of a shaken brain, really.
Oh. When you were a child?
No, it was, we could probably say it was my 100th concussion at minimum, but no, it was like a guy rear-ended me going about 50 miles an hour, didn't brake, didn't see me, just drove straight into me at 80 miles an hour. 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour. And,
Jesus Christ.
So, of course, I had a significant neck thing, and I found out many years later that my disc got blown out, and whatever. But the brain itself got shaken. This is a problem because there's no external injury that would bring their attention to it, and so it got absolutely missed by the emergency people. And they didn't even take an X-ray. If they would have took an X-ray, they would have seen that the disc was busted out, and then they would have known that there was enough of a whiplash that there would be a possible brain issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just basically your brain banging up against the skull. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. After she got hit by that tree, and had a skull fracture, orbital fracture, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They released us 4:30 that morning. That same morning, they released us from the hospital.
Yeah.
I was standing there with my husband, who couldn't drive. I couldn't drive. I didn't have a car. The kid had a skull fracture, an orbital fracture, a jaw fracture. They put us out on the street and said, okay, find your way.
Wow.
She's going to be alive. But, yeah, find your way home at 4:30 in the morning. And,
good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, listen,
all right,
I gotta
go.
Carol.
Love you.
Okay.
Thank you for hearing my story.
Okay.
Good night.
All right, peace out. Good to hear the kid has survived it. Okay, let's go get Carol. Hi, Carol. Hey. Oh, that's very bad. Okay, let's see. What can we do to help Carol? Put a headset in or turn the volume way down. Let's try it again. Hello, Carol.
Hi.
All right, that's better. Awesome.
Chris.
Are you there? Yes. Yes.
I'm here. Answer the phone. I'm on the phone, too.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, now that we've established that we can all hear each other. Good night, good night, good night, good night, Nancy. Good night.
That's funny.
Okay, Carol. Okay, you got Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
We got like major echoing going on.
Yeah, I can barely.
Do you have a headset, Carol?
No, but listen. And
whoa, hang on. Whoa, that's bad. Type in the chat room. Will you call in? Diane, can you get the number for her? It is, she's on by telephone.
Okay, so mute your computer.
724. Okay, there we go. Hello, okay. Oh my God! Like I didn't get that. Okay.
There we go.
Very good. Okay. Hi, Carol. How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good. Okay. Very good. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, that's so much better.
I'm not echoing.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't understand because there's so much echo. It was like you were in the Alps.
I just like answer the phone, Chris. Just answer the phone.
Unbelievable. Okay, go. What's going on, Carol?
Not much. I just figured I'd get a quick general reading if I could get one. But I just got off work. I try to get into your shows, Chris, but I don't get home till late usually.
That's okay. That work is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you liking your new job? I really feel a lot of really positive energy around it.
Yeah, I like it.
You're tired though.
Feel like that? Yeah, it was one hell of a night. Quite a surprising, but.
Yeah, I feel like work is pretty good, and I feel like things are really starting to fall into place. I do feel like you're really, really tired, though, like you're really exhausted, and I know you really can't take a break right now to just take the time to sleep or catch up on things and stuff like that, but I do feel that's going to iron out over the next couple of months, where you'll have a routine down and everything will work out really well. And then that routine needs to stay in place. When somebody tries to come back in, we can't disturb the routine because the routine really works for everybody involved, the kids and you and everybody. It's running like a fine-tuned instrument at that time. So, and maybe what I'm seeing has more to do with, when we come to summer break or something like that, we see some changes there. but I feel like the new job or where you're working is actually, they really love you there. I think they love you being there more than you like being there, which is okay because, that gives you negotiation power, right? So.
Well, they do really like.
Yeah, I think they just think they found the next best thing to slice bread, and you're such a hard worker, and I don't think they're used to somebody with that, they have good workers there, but I don't think they're used to such a go-getter and somebody that's so into, has such a strong work ethic. So
right.
I think that, that's something that's really important to them. So I'm not so sure that won't lead into a promotion over the next 6 months or so, but that again, maybe that's where we see the upheaval with a little bit of the routine being messed with. So you'll have to decide at that time, do we need to start over with the routine or should we stay where we're at? So
right.
I definitely see that. Now, how's your daughter doing? I'm actually seeing some really good energy around her.
Kathy's doing great. Kim, well, she fell and she had the oldest one fell on Halloween and cracked her head open and had a brain bleed.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, right here on my stuff. But Kathy's doing good. She's doing really, really, really good.
Yeah, I feel hope around her. I feel excitement. I feel for the first time in a long time she's thinking, towards the future. I really feel and like I said, I feel when I connect with your energy, I feel that soul tired energy, where you just feel and again, I think that's partially the energy that we're feeling as a whole collectively, but I think that you've had a lot on your plate for the last, let's say 4 years, 5 years. So it's been very overwhelming. I think this job is actually a nice distraction from everything that you've been trying to juggle. And the job gets you that break sometimes. You're able to do some meditation when you're at work because you have methodical things you have to do at work. There's things that have to be done a certain way, and then you have that chance to not necessarily get a break, but, it's almost like mowing the grass, seeing behind you, you get to see your finished product, so then you feel like there's some kind of accomplishment, where I think you were feeling like the plate, wow, how much can I eat? And it still looks full, So, but I feel that you're coming out of that energy. I feel like you're starting to turn and you're going into a really good place. And she looks absolutely vibrant. I think that, everything she's been through is going to be something that's going to teach a lot of people. She has ambition. She's feeling better about herself. I feel a lot of really positive energy around her. I'm not sure which daughter I'm connecting with. I want to say that's the one that that's had to battle some things, for lack of a better term. I hate to use the term demons, but it looks like she's had to battle some dragons.
Yeah, she's doing really good. She's driving me. She preaches to me almost every day, but yeah, she's doing good.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the preaching is her reinforcing it for herself because that's what's working for her.
Right.
So,
it's much better than where she was.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really feel like she's going to be moving forward. So that will help a lot, alleviate some things too with you. I don't think she's doing it to be insulting. I think she's doing it to reinforce it for herself because that's what got her where she's at right now, or what she feels got her to where she's at. And I'm really sorry to hear about your other daughter. I had no idea that she had, such an accident. I hope she's okay.
Right? What are you going to do? Well, see, and as far as me being tired, Kathleen, I fell in the bathroom and I had 2 compression fractures in my back.
Jesus.
So I'm healing from that, So within a couple months, I should feel much better.
Yeah. Back pain's so horrible because, once it starts to set in, your whole body gets tense. You've got muscle pain in your arms. You have muscle pain in your legs, I mean, there's just, you don't have any muscle. Back pain is so hard. It's just, I think back pain and tooth pain, pain or, when your teeth are hurting are two of the worst pains because your whole body reacts to the pain. So I didn't realize you were going through that as well. But I really feel like in the next couple of months you're in a really good place, and work just absolutely loves you. They don't. They have a fear of losing you, and that's rare. Most places are like, some people are harder to replace than others, but I think they really, really like you. I think they really have plans for you.
They're always, they're always telling me about it. But I just say, I'm doing my job because that's what I'm doing.
Right.
I know the job, and this is the job that I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be fine, And that's what I focus on. Every time I go to work, I'm very focused on what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's your regroup time too, and like I said, your break. Before, I think the soul tide that I was tapping into, between all your kids and everything you're doing, and then pain and stuff like that. I think that's your time to get away, And before, even if you set aside time for yourself, you would allow them to take away that time. And when you're at work, they think of it as work. Oh, we can't disturb her at work. So I think that really has become, work has become your, I don't want to say lifesaver, but it's actually become your lifesaver, your time to do your thought process, to look at all the problems, attack them from a different angle. And it almost does come across as a meditation. Are you working 12-hour shifts right now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 'cause it looks to me like it's almost like you take a 12-hour sabbatical.
Yep, that's what I do. Yep. And that's why I can't, it's very hard for me to watch the shows or to, I'm not here.
Right.
So but I'm supporting everybody, and I try to support everybody. I just can't be there.
Well, sometimes you're not meant to be because you have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't take care of everybody else if you're not taking care of yourself, and that doesn't make you a selfish person or anything by any means, for sure. I mean, and you're coming up on a pretty busy season. You've got your a lot of people do the numerology and the readings for their Christmas stocking stuffers and that kind of stuff too, but with the job that you're at, I just really feel that the job, everything happened the way it had to get you to have this job, so you got your break, so you weren't so emotionally drained.
Right. Right. Right.
Which most of us wouldn't think that way, but it gives you a sense of purpose outside of being everybody's caretaker.
Yep.
And I don't know where you work, but I feel like you still take that healing energy and all the intuition that you have and you put it into your work. But when you clock out, you can leave it there. It's not something that's going to call you in the middle of the night and stuff like that. How's your daughter doing? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's here. She's okay. It really was horrible, because she knocked herself out,
Right.
And, it was raining, and she was trying to get the kids candy and slid on the step, and down she went.
Yeah.
Her head off the step.
Isn't it amazing how much people are seeing I wonder, I've heard a lot about, and I've seen a lot in a lot of readings recently too. There's these split-second things, like Nancy's daughter, your daughter, all these accidents and these split-second things. I'm like, is this, spirit trying to show us that life can change in an instant and we need to pay attention more to the bigger picture? Not just within our own family units, but as a whole. It just seems to be happening a lot the last couple of months. I'm really sorry that, you had to deal with that. I hope your back gets better too, because I'm telling you right now, I just pulled a muscle and I'm feeling like shit. So I can't imagine what pain you're dealing with.
Well, I'm okay. Like the doctor said, I'm going to give you this prescription. I said, oh, no, you're not. I'll take ibuprofen. I will get through this. Oh, no, you are not. But, yeah, it hurts like hell, but what are you going to do? It's better now today than it was yesterday. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, it gets better every day then, right?
Yeah.
But things look good. It looks to me like the next couple months, Christmas will be a little bit hectic, but it always is, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I see you being, so I don't see that emotional or that soul tired lifting until after the first of the year. But, that makes sense with your back and with what you're dealing with and stuff like that. So, but, I really do feel like if you didn't have this job right now, you'd probably, be really not in a good place. So I think that you're strong. I don't mean that in a mentally. I just feel like physically you wouldn't be in a good place. When we get soul tired like that, sometimes it's just about separating, isolating, and when you say, oh, I try to support everybody and get in touch with everybody, it's okay. All of us understand that you got a lot going on and you got a job, it's just the way it is. And
I don't want anybody to
okay with that.
I am. I really am.
Yeah.
I try to tell everybody, hey, or I'll click and say this show's going on or this is going on, but I just don't make it to them.
Well, there's only so many hours in a day, right? So, and anybody that doesn't understand that, has too much time on their hands.
Yeah.
That's the way you need to start looking at it. Anybody that doesn't understand that, you're taking care of essentially 3 families plus a job. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't understand that, has too much time on their own hands. They need to get a hobby.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
You're right. Yep. Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm dealing with some seizure issues again, or medication issues for that, but doing good. I'm just, been very tired and very, very busy and pulled back and just kind of regrouped myself because of that. So I'm seeing a whole new group of neurologists on this coming week. So I'm looking forward to getting some answers there. But other than that, I'm good, busy and trying to keep it all in alignment.
Good.
Some days I pretend I'm rich and I just don't work, Called pretend.
Oh, hey, it works,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been doing pretty good. Like I said, I've been getting out and walking every day with the puppy and stuff like that. And I've been doing a few excursions for the crystals. Because of Christmas, and I picked out some pretty decent blocks of salt to have made into salt lamps and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about all that stuff going on. But and then I start getting pretty busy from Thanksgiving through the first of the year. But things are good. I'm excited to see where you're at. You actually feel pretty calm. Like your energy feels pretty calm. So.
Wow.
I'm excited about your new year.
Good. That's good. I think it'll be good. It'll be good. As soon as I get, it'll be better. But
Yeah. I think everything's starting to level out for sure for you.
It needed to. Truthfully. And Chris, how are you?
I couldn't be better. I couldn't be better, thank you.
That didn't sound very. That didn't sound very good, Chris.
She sounded so excited, didn't she?
I am not. Like I'm really not dumb.
In other words, there's not enough time to talk about it. There's 2 minutes left.
Like I said, I'm not dumb. I mean, I know you're. I can hear all kinds of things. Believe it or not, Chris, I could.
For a woman that lives in a country where you can smoke dope legally, she sounds pretty down, right?
That's actually,
yeah.
Good point. Yeah. That's a good point. So anyway, we got a couple minutes here, so we got to wrap. So you get yourself some rest too, Carol. Don't forget, you got to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good though, Chris. I really am.
Yeah. No, that's good. So good to hear. So good to hear.
Yeah, your vibration feels really, really good, Carol. Like, I really like how your energy feels. So I'm very glad that you're in a good place.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I think it'll just get better.
And that's well, thank you so much, Kathleen.
Awesome.
And I'll be thinking about both of you. Sending some good
well, I think of you often, and I'm very glad to hear that, I hope your back heals quickly. I'll send some healing energy your way, and, I know, I'm sorry, my dogs decided to start wrestling, right?
Because they know it's time. They go, okay,
right.
2 hours is lots for us to have to be quiet. Okay, Carol, thank you so much. Nice to hear back from you, and don't be a stranger. Rest of you guys, we're off tomorrow, but here with Salva. Wait, where am I? Let's go to November, Chris, okay? November? Yes, off tomorrow, back with Salva on Friday, Kimber on Saturday. And so everybody thank Kathleen for coming. Phone her at 330-554-8202 for a private reading and during regular office hours. And you can also head over to her website at www.KathleenMoorePsychicMedium.com. Wow. So we will see you next, right at the end of November.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Kathleen, thank you so much. Get you some rest.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
All right. Take it easy, everybody.
All right.
Everybody will see you back here tomorrow. Peace out, guys.